Okay, thank you for coming and to participate in my presentation. I'm a teacher at social education in Denmark, and my own education is that I'm a master in political science, and I've been teaching at this college for 10 years. Now, this presentation that I'm making here, as you can see, is the lecture home page as a means of learning, communication, and guidance. I set up this home page when I learned about, there you get me anyway, when I learned about setting up home pages in the domain of Wikispaces. And I got the idea to set up a home page for each class. So that's what started this. I'll just give you a brief overview over the project. The background was that it was hard to communicate with the students. It was difficult to get into our own intranet in our university college. New students couldn't get in there, and I thought, how could I pass this and go directly and let them communicate with me through the internet. I'll go through the main concepts and the project, and I'll tell you what kind of steps I took during the project. The results of the project, how it is now, and the conclusions on which I will base my further work I will present to you, and it means the perspective for the future. The background, as I told you, the homepage of the University College was insufficient. Students have to have passwords, menus, and they have to navigate on our internet. And it means that most of the students, a lot of the students, don't use it because it takes too long to get into our internet, to get the pages, to use the password. So they communicate by email with each other. So it's very difficult for the teachers to communicate with the students if they don't have to have the information. And even if they have to have the information, they don't go into the internet. It's kind of frustrating, isn't it? So there's a lack of influence from the students, from the teachers, and there's a lack of flexibility. So a little about the learning process. I think that the learning process is a social process. It means that I have to engage with the students to set up a social situation, a social process. The students have to interact socially too to learn. And so by this I could make a social platform on the internet, and the students, they could connect with each other. So the aim is to enhance the learning process and at the same time the social process. So to strengthen the motivation with the students, and by that strengthens the learning results. It should be done by involving and engaging the students in the learning process. At the same time, as I said before, to create a social learning environment where the students would like to come. So the basic idea is that I set up a homepage for each class. It means that I could set up a homepage in the morning for a new class and say, well, this morning I set up a homepage for you. You can go into that homepage today and see what I've read for you. It is set up within the domain of DigiSpaces.com. I don't know, maybe some of you know this, but you can do that for free. It costs nothing, so you can just make as many home pages as you want, so you can make a home page for each class you have, for each group in, if you want that. I set up, the lecture set up the home page, and they are invited to participate. You could make the home page open to, so everyone could go into the home page and comment and read. And as I will show you later, I've made a home page for this conference for you, so you would be able to go into that, and you don't have to make any notes from this PowerPoint, because you can go into my home page that I've made for this session, and you can download this PowerPoint show. I think you haven't got any internet links here, so I didn't give you the address on beforehand, but it's on the last slide. And anyway, it's on page 626, I think. 624, the abstract. It is in my abstract, the homepage address. So, lecturers and students may communicate, and students may communicate mutually. If they want to tell the others something, they can do that, as you will see later. So the first home page that I set up were for new students. In the beginning of the study year, they cannot have access due to, I don't know, problems, but they cannot enter our intranet. So I set up this home page for them. They could go in there, I could give them notices, and so in that way they could communicate from day one when they enter our university college. I don't know, maybe it's different in the places you are, but not in our university college anyway, and I don't think it'll be that in the future. So it'll help for that. So the following classes were the 7th semester. They are writing the bachelor assignment, and they work individually or in groups. So I thought this would be a very good thing for them to have. But they are all assigned a personal teacher for guidance, so they didn't use it. I think in the future, the 7th semester, they will use it more, because this is new to them. They are older students, and it's the first time I try this, but I think in the future, when they start with in the first semester with these home pages, they will benefit from it in the 7th semester. So they didn't need it that much. So this is how I set up the 7th semester's homepage, and I invited them and told them they could go in there and they could exchange notes and comments and whatever they wanted. The further development. So now each group or single student, they may have access to personal guidance. Every student could write to their homepage and ask the teacher how is that, and they can set up a discussion. The other students can participate, make their contributions, and we'll see examples of that later. So, as I always said to the students, please ask questions, because if you want to have an answer to a question, you may know that there are 4 or 5 other students who would like to ask the same questions, but they don't. So please go in and ask, and other students will benefit from this. And at the same time, all teachers should be assigned to give guidance on this homepage too. So that questions and answers will be available to the whole class, to the other teachers. The other teachers would know what did you answer to that question. So I think that's a major point here. Then we started an international semester, and this was a good idea to make a homepage for their class, because they were new in town. They were from different countries in Europe. They didn't know each other. They didn't know anyone in our town. So by using this homepage, they could communicate. course, like the other new students, could not go into our intranet to pick up information. And they live scattered around in rooms around. So this is the homepage for the international semester in Nykøbing Falster. And they actually used it, as we'll see later. It could be used for guidance. Here I have uploaded guidance for essay writing. They could download that and they could write their own comments. So it means that if I teach and they are in the class, they can download this guidance for essay writing. They can download it and they can make their own notes in my notes. So they don't have to write all the things that I say. They can just put on their own remarks to my notes. The next one are my notes for my lecture. If I give a lecture, sometimes I have some notes that I give to the students, not all the time, but I could give the notes to the students in their internet page, and they can download it, and at the same time as the guidance, they can make their own comments. They don't have to write down everything that I say. They can just add their own comments to this home page. Exchange of experiences. Here, this is the international semester 2. They are writing what have they experienced in town. They say, what about meeting tonight? Would you come tonight? We will set up a party or something like that. They will put that in. And there's a teacher here who has a comment about this homepage. And so in that way, the homepage will live, and as long as the students they go on using the homepage and the teachers use the homepage, it will live. If they don't, it will die. So there has to be a need, as I will come back to. So this part is the students' involvement. We have two parts of this this international semester. So during the first part of the semester, I was going to organize the last part of the semester. So I wrote to the students and said to them, I uploaded the sketch for the last part of the semester and said, have you any comments? Have you anything you'd like to do in the last part of the semester? Please write your notes here, and the other student can see what you suggest, and they can see if it will be into the plan. Here the students, they can set up their own discussions. They can start a discussion in the homepage, whatever they want to discuss with the teachers or with the fellow students. And they will be able to do that. Activity was not so high, but I think this is an important thing, conditions for success. The students must experience this as rewarding and as necessary and as interesting. So I think it will strengthen the social relation in the and here is the homepage that you can go into right now, today, and as I said, it's on page 624, and you can go in there and download my PowerPoint there. And you can make some comments to me and to the other persons present here, so I think it would be a good idea if you did that. Okay, thank you very much.